Hi people. Hello. First YouTube stream. Exciting. Okay, I thought all the time we get we stream usually on Twitch, me and John, and we get always a bunch of people that have said you know, that say to us, "Oh, I missed the stream." I think they don't realise that we usually stream on Twitch and then we just upload the VODs to YouTube. So I thought every so often, particularly me, it makes more sense for me. I'll just stream to YouTube, and then you guys can you know, get the stream instead of just the few regulars we have on Twitch. And I think we've got a bit of a bigger audience on YouTube as well, so it makes a bit more sense. Yeah, for me personally, definitely to stream to a slightly higher audience. So anyone who hasn't seen me, I'm sure you have before now. I'm Mike. I'm the Slug Disco community manager. I'm not a developer of the game, but I work very closely with the three guys who are the developers. So you know, I'm in the know for most things. So we'll do a little bit while we're waiting for a few more people to arrive and such like. We'll do a little bit of question and answers if anyone wants to ask any questions. Let me know what the audio levels are like and such like, and we can yeah, adjust things while we've still got a minute. Oh, hi Hoff. Hoff is one of our regulars on Twitch. Glad to see you've made your way for the YouTube stream. I'm stuck on the harvest level. So am I, Carla. I'm usually pretty good at it, but when I last tried, if you had seen my previous upload, I failed, and I'm blaming Twitch chat for that. But if I fail today, I'm blaming YouTube chat. Yeah, I've beat the level a bunch of times, but I failed mainly because I was chatting to people, I think. Or maybe I'm just terrible at the game and don't realise. Okay. Random Nautilus says, what ants are planned to be added after fire ants? We've planned it internally, but we're not ready to tell everyone yet. We'll do an announcement when that's ready, after the fire ants are out. Micah says, I need to mess out on the guy scientist. He rubs a lot of people up the wrong way, that fella does. Good voice actor, though. After the stream, I'm trying the harvest for the first time. Good luck, Hunter. Let's hope I can give you some tips. Maybe I'll be terrible, though. We'll see. It'd be funny if I fail again. Yeah, at least that means the series can last a bit longer that way. Are you guys going to release the soundtrack? Yes we are. But it's not ready yet. It's not finished. The game's not done. We've still got 2 Formicarian tiers to go. But at that point, yes, we definitely will. But if you'd like to know where I'm playing this music from, I'm playing it from Liam's SoundCloud. Liam's one of the developers, and he also does all the music for the game. So I'm just going to link that now. He's got a bunch of the music there, not all of it, but yeah, just in chat there I've put the music, Liam's SoundCloud account, and feel free to have a look there and see what he's put up there. He's also put some stuff that we don't use in the game, like a really fun dubstep David Attenborough remix, which is a giggle. Yeah, well worth having a look. The link in Indominus Rex is Liam's SoundCloud, and there's a bunch of music from the game and some other ant-related music on there. So feel free to have a look at that and you can use it for whatever needs you feel you need to use it for. Just having a quick look through chat before we carry on and get the game going. Mr. Drews is playing Empires of the Undergrowth while watching. I admire your commitment. Marino P69 likes the music, as do I. I listen to it in the car. Okay, cool. Are you going to add carpenter ants after fire ants? I don't think that's the plan, no, Carlo. I don't think it's carpenter ants. We have decided, but it's I don't think it's carpenter ants. Right, okay, let's boot up Empires. I'm just going to turn Liam's excellent music off, and then we'll boot up the game. La-di-da-di-da. Or shall we just play Doom instead? I was playing Doom yesterday. I've nearly beat it on Nightmare difficulty. Yeah, let's just play Doom. Right, booting up Doom. I'm joking, of course. I'll play Doom in my own time. Okay, and post the Undergrowth. How's everyone's day been? I've had a very productive day. Assembled that wardrobe. Got a new mattress on my bed. Went to the pub. All good stuff. We need a desert level. The dunes level in free play is close enough to that, I think. Oh, he really had me thinking he was going to play Doom. Maybe I'll stream some Doom one day, but not on the Slug Disco channel. No, that would be grossly inappropriate. Our games only, I think. Yeah. It'll be Empires of the Undergrowth, Beetle Uprising, and Ecosystem that you see on this channel. Scorpion boys can be our boss fight. Scorpions are awesome. It's a shame we haven't got any in the game yet. I hear siren. Yeah, I am in a town. There's going to be occasional sirens. Yeah. Okay, right. Let's go to just get my streaming software up here so I can see which button I need to press. This button. There we go. Okay, when are the fire ants coming out? Ask Ian. As a general policy, we don't do estimates simply because we're... Yeah, we don't do that. Right, story mode. Okay, we are continuing our Formicarium, which one of our Twitch chat users called Europia for some reason. I didn't tell him, I didn't ask him exactly why, but that's what our colony is called, so let's load it up. Yeah, if the connection's a bit unstable, guys, my home internet is terrible. So I'm having to stream everything through 4G, which is why I'm only running 720p and such like, and only 30 FPS. You know, I've got limits on what I can do, but it should be okay for the most part. It generally speaking is okay. Yeah, OBS is saying I haven't dropped any frames, so yeah, my little preview on my tablet looks okay. Okay. Right, okay, so this is our Europia colony, which is a blue Formicoraptor colony. We've just moved into the new Formicarium, which has our little kind of South American ruins theme. Okay, right, so let's try to beat 3-1 the Harvest. And let's try not to suck too much this time. But if we do, hey, so what? Just means you guys get to sit here and watch again when I try again next time. Okay, the Harvest on medium difficulty. Last time I went for the Taunt Mages. I'm going to mix things up a bit and go with Stun Mages this time. Just for the hell of it. Just win, it can't be that hard. Usually it isn't, Luigi. But if I'm talking to chat at the same time, I'm distracted. So I think what I might do is, for the first 5 minutes or so, I'm just going to concentrate on the game, and then I'll pause for a second and come back to chat and see what you guys have been saying. So just stay with me for a few minutes while I get set up. Let's go. Just listen to the narrator.
This young queen has successfully raised her first daughters beneath the leaf litter of the rainforest floor.
Okay.
The nutritious fungus she fed them as larvae is now dwindling. If they don't find food quickly, they will all starve. The juicy grubs nearby are a staple meal for many underground opportunists, but for now at least, they will go ignored.
Okay, so the first thing, of course, is to get a leaf drop chamber, which is one of the things I forgot to do straight away last time. If you haven't got a leaf drop chamber, then the leaf cutters can't play leaves. Do us for now. Okay, we want to get to the surface, and straight away we want to be harvesting some plants.
The small scouting party of minor workers could lead any number of deadly jungle creatures back to their undefended queen.
We've got 2 chambers down here. Both of these are going to be miners, workers. Workers are pretty efficient. They're probably the most efficient overall.
Just what they were looking for
collecting leaves for the leaf cutters. But there is a balance pass coming, which will make the mediae much more viable for this. It'll give them better stats.
The harvested leaf chunks are not
beta
eaten
testers
directly.
seem to be pretty
Instead,
happy with
they are used by the very smallest minim workers to cultivate
and there's a few balance
nutritious
changes here and there
fungus.
as well. If anyone who's playing the optional beta on Steam at the moment will know this. Now, all the information's on Steam if anyone wants it. Okay, once we get up to maybe 70 food, then I'm going to build more miners.
The ants' activities outside the nest have not gone unnoticed.
Okay.
They are being watched.
So, refuse chamber, very important for the leaf cutters. Otherwise, you just get resource blocked, supply blocked, really. We'll have more food available as soon as the minims, the really small ants that you don't control directly, can bring the leaves to grow fungus on the actual brood chambers. Hey, it's been a warm day here in England. We're used to it being cold and overcast. It's been very warm. Okay, one more of them.
A brightly patterned jumping spider,
the jumping spiders,
Deportorius, has subdued one of the workers. This expert solo hunter combines extreme agility with incredible forward vision, allowing it to pounce on unsuspecting prey with pinpoint accuracy.
Just keeping my eye on the food counter there. As soon as it reaches 20, that's how much a miner costs. So, just trying to be as quick as I can. Yeah, right now I don't need to worry about refuse and food tiles storing much. But once the economy gets really up to speed, then yes, that becomes a big issue. But right now I'm just trying to get off the ground, really, as fast as I can. Generally speaking, the AI has a bit of an advantage on you.
The most accessible leaves are located
but they do
to
slow
the
down
north
towards
of the
the
nest entrance. However, another atta colony has already laid claim to them. The close proximity of these nests places the two colonies in direct
they're a bit
competition
ahead, but they're not
with
too
one
far
another.
ahead.
Time will tell which has the potential to grow into a great
Yeah, they start with
empire,
the nest partly
and
built,
which
and,
will submit
depending
to
on the
the
difficulty.
unforgiving law of the Undergrowth.
There with that group, we're going to build another group of minims here, and then we're going to send this second group. It's going to be going over here, so we can try and get leaves from two different spots at the same time, which is something I didn't do last time. I was just too distracted to really keep on top of that. But yeah, we're going to have two different collection groups going to different patches and getting more leaves for us that way. full set here now. This brood chamber here, in the first, the yellow pheromone marker. Right, I'll once I've got these ladies here all up to speed. I really should close that window, shouldn't I? I will in a minute. It's just been so warm here. Yeah, in the past I have been using this NVIDIA RTX clear voice thing, which is really good, but it's there's been a driver update recently which has messed it up a bit, so I've had to drop that. Which is a bit of a shame. That just cut out all the background noise like that, no trouble, but it hasn't been working recently. But no worries. Okay, yep. Once we've got this last worker in, this last miner, then I'll pause and just come back to chat for a bit and scroll back up for a minute or two just to reconnect with you guys. And I'll close the window while I'm at it. Yeah, so we're not getting the sirens coming in from outside. Right. Okay, I'm just going to pause it. And I'm going to close that window. Okay, right. I'm going to just look back up at chat for a minute. And just see what you guys have been talking about. The only way for me to win is to kill the enemy queen, and my first time I did it and I win. Yeah, that is a way to win. The problem I had, I tried it as a last-ditch attempt, but the AI, there's no way around it. The AI cheats. They don't cheat with resources, but if you're attacking their supply lines, they do get free mages to attack you back with. So if you've just attacked their supply lines and then you go and try and nuke their queen, then there's going to be a bunch of mages and you're not going to manage it. As I found out to my cost. Hi, Perennial Gaming. Perennial Bravo Gaming. Nice of you to join us. I must kill the road beetle larvae, but they are easy once you have about 8 workers. Yeah, the road beetle larvae are fine. They're not too different than the devil's coach horse larvae. So can you fix it so the team colonies try to kill you and make it so the AI colonies can help you when in danger? Mr. Drews, these are all things that I'm sure are on the cards. It's just we're starting really basic with the AI, and John's just going to slowly improve it over time. He has to work out how to save the brain state of them. Yeah, that's a big thing. That's why you can't save in the current beta. Hey mate, what's the plans for the future? How many different type of ants are you going to have in total? Like focal species, there's going to be at least 2 more. One of which is fire ants, and then there's one for the 5th tier form of carrion, which we haven't discussed yet. And then we will probably add more ants later after the campaign's finished, depending on how things are going. We've got to decide at post-release what we want. Do people want multiplayer more? Do they want just more content? Do they want a map maker? We're going to have to decide how to focus our small team, because there are only 3 developers. So we have to obviously choose what we focus on carefully, and rein in our ambition sometimes. We've certainly found that. What's the name of the green beetle with the purple? I don't know what the exact name is. I'd have to ask Matt, because he's the one who looked it up, I think. Matt and Liam did. But it's a species of rove beetle. There are several kinds of rove beetle. The devil's coach horse is a rove beetle as well. But it's a kind of rove beetle. Right, let's get back to the game, shall we? Right. Okay, we've got 2 different supply lines now, and we've got food coming in. Great. So we're going to think about mediae soon, I think. And I think we might have to deal with rove beetle larvae now. Or do we get away with it? I think we get away with it for now. Great. Cool. Yeah, we're starting to get our economy up to speed. It's looking good. We're not too far behind the AI. Let the first mediae come in. I think they're 80, aren't they? Yeah, they're 80. So we're not far off that. Here we go.
As the sun sets below the horizon and the thick rainforest canopy shrouds all but the slightest glimmer of moonlight,
I'm going to get rid of these
the predators of the
notifications
night
at the
begin
side.
to
I'm sure
emerge.
most of you guys have read them before. Okay, we've still got plenty there. And over here, yeah, we've still got plenty of food to collect yet before we need to worry about moving the markers. And we'll move her into one of the... Come on, come on, come on, come on. Just 5 more food. Don't go for mages, just go for numbers, have multiple groups of media. I think I will go for mages actually later on. We don't need to yet, certainly not yet, but when we start coming to really harass the enemy in 25 minutes, half an hour, then I think the mages make sense. Because they are powerful fighters. But certainly not for now. I am going to go for another little dig there for a second set of media. Yeah, once I'm done with the level, guys, whether I win or lose, we'll have like a 10-minute chat session at the end where I will just read chat and answer questions as much as I can, if I can answer them. Like I say, I know more or less all the goings on with Empires of the Undergrowth, but there's some things that obviously we don't want to give away just yet. But I'll answer what I can, and that'll be towards the end. But until then, let's try and beat this level. Yeah, no problem there. This is looking good, but not far off depleted. We're okay for a minute or two, I think. Ian asks, can you make a bombardier beetle? Yes. It's one of these species which is confirmed for the Fire Ant update. There will be bombardier beetles. Right, yeah, just expanding our miner workers and by consequence our minims as well. For every tile you get in a leaf cutter colony, every brood chamber tile, you get a free minim with that tile. So if you're finding that your refuse management is slowing down a bit, then refuse management and leaf collecting the leaf to turn them into fungus is slowing down, then you probably need a few more miners so you get more minims. Yeah, and I'm just going to enhance the refuse chamber a bit. We will get some sick ants, but that's fine. They'll respawn. We've got enough of an economy now that that's not a major issue. Lovely. Make more giant bugs. There's going to be some big stuff coming. Don't worry. Why can't you make millions of ants? Why can't you make millions of ants? Because most people don't have supercomputers at homes, in their homes. And most people have a desktop computer of some description, and there's only so much that a desktop computer can simulate with the level of detail we need to simulate. Unlike most real-time strategies, the ants think quite a lot. There's quite a lot of brain power going on for each ant. Whereas in StarCraft, you know, you pick a unit and you tell it to go there, and that's all it does, pretty much. I mean, it might kind of scan the area nearby every so often, but our ants are doing a lot of things at any one time, compared to most real-time strategies. good. We're a bit depleted there, so we're going to move these guys on a bit over here. Well, there are some trapjaw ants about, which in this context is a bad thing. Yeah, we're more or less depleted over here, so I think we'll move the other... We're not completely depleted, but enough that I want to keep going and move on a bit. Okay, one more miner there. We've already got one full media chamber. We'll go for another one now to put in the other foraging group. We might just expand the leaf drop chamber while I'm thinking about it. Okay, in a second I'm going to pause and come back to chat again, just so I don't get too far behind with you guys. This level is easy. Generally speaking, yeah, you're right, but I'm also trying to deal with talking to a bunch of people on YouTube at the same time. Also, I suck. In this. It'll be upgrade time for some of these here, just so we don't get supply blocked with the leaves. Hey, we're not too far behind actually. We're doing a lot better than last time I played. At this point, I'd just kind of forgotten about the game and I was just talking to chat. Yeah, I was reminded how close this game can get, actually, when one of the guys from the Yogscast, Tom, was streaming this game a week or two ago, and he was playing this level, and he was talking to chat a lot, but he's a lot better RTS gamer than I am.
Arrived,
but he lost by about
the night
30 to 50 food in the end. It was heartbreaking.
For the ants, however, the objectives of the day remain unchanged. Locate vegetation, defend supply lines,
when the narrator's quiet,
and
I'll come back to chat for a
leaves.
minute.
There is no time for rest.
Okay, right. Back to chat for a sec. Just gonna... Is it F6? Yeah. Okay, back to chat, Okay, we need yellow crazy ants to be added. They could be in the future, but I don't think it's one of the planned species to finish the campaign. They're quite close to fire ants in kind of behaviour. For me, it's 200 ants on my PC is like, it's time to melt. Yeah. Now, think about it when you're... when you've got 3 AI colonies in free play. So that's 600 ants altogether. So this is the stream, us talking about stuff. Yes, and also me just playing the game, yeah. Whereas when John streams, he's developing, generally speaking. But yeah, if you've just got random questions you think I might be able to ask, keep them for the end, though, and we'll just do 10 minutes where I literally just sit at the end and go through as many questions as I can. You guys should make a level where we take the other colony's larvae and raise it as our own. We could do that maybe as an extra level. Yeah, if you guys haven't played those yet, the extra levels. There's I think there's 4 of them now. There's a Grandize. What's the recent one? There's a Grandize. I've done the videos for all of them. The other foot. You guys know them. You had driver ants. I don't know if there is a plan for driver ants. Although driver ants are a kind of army ant, and we do have army ants in the game already. Love your work. Was an early supporter of the game. Keep it up. Thank you, Roman's Rule. Does anyone know how many casts of fire ant there will be? 2. There's just going to be workers and soldiers, because there's a lot of debate amongst people who study ants and insects about true polymorphism in fire ants. There doesn't really seem to be it. There's a bunch of different range of there's a big range in worker sizes, but not distinct roles like, for instance, leafcutters clearly have the majors, the media, and the minors and the minims. They're distinct and they have distinct roles. There's just a range of size for fire ants. So we're just simplifying that by having workers and soldiers in the same way as wood ants and black ants. There's no need to make it any more complicated than that. The demo get an update. We might do an update for the demo, Eric, but not for a while yet. There's plenty in the demo. Mike, you might want to move group 2. It's finish harvesting. I'll have a look at that when we restart the game. Thanks, Hoff. Build extra level. We're building extra levels all the time in Dominus. There's one called Adventure, which John has been working on recently. He's done a bunch of streaming of that, and there are a bunch of videos on the channel already dealing with that. We need wasps. Micah, wasps were one of the stretch goals in the Kickstarter, but it was a choice between... I believe it was a choice between wasps and termites, and the termites won. So the termites are the Formosan subterranean termite, will be in the game in some form. We haven't revealed exactly how, but they will be in the game. Right, okay, just go back to the bottom of... okay, yeah, thanks for dropping in, Preneel Bravo Gaming. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Go and have a nice sleep. Ants will be coming out after the fire ants. Ian, we haven't announced it yet. We know internally, but after we release fire ants, we'll talk about that. Add weaver ants if the owner can. I don't think we're adding weaver ants. Their nest construction doesn't really suit us, our systems. Who left that one dislike? I think it might be me, actually, Nautilus. Right, okay, yep, we are continuing. Okay. Back to it. I think we go over here now. Okay, yep, we can see what these are. Yep. Actually, in this level, it is worth building speed tiles. Unlike in lots of the other levels, the speed tiles might give you the little advantage that you need just at the very end of things over the enemy colony. Okay. I was talking to Liam, who writes most of the scripts, and you'll notice every time it goes from night to day, the narrator's something like night falls or dawn breaks, and he was racking his brains trying to think of different ways to come up with that meaning. There's only so many ways you can say it's now no longer daytime, it's now nighttime, or the other way around, and it still sounds kind of dramatic and like it's a nature documentary. But so it's kind of a weird problem that he had. Yeah. And now number 1. Let's go a bit further north. Let's start attacking this centre group of leaves. Okay, we've got lots of food now. We can spend there, and yep, we've got our 2 full groups of mediae now. It's time to think about majors soon. But not just yet. I think we'll expand these mediae worker chambers out a little bit first. Like lag, there's not much I can do about lag. If it lags, it's just going to lag, mate. There really isn't anything I can do with it on this 4G connection. It's all looked fine from my point of view.
One of the ants has fallen prey to
it's a leaf mimic mantis, yeah. It's alright, we've got plenty of media, they'll deal with that.
Once in range, its long razor-clad forelegs can ensnare and impale victims with lightning speed.
Let's kill rove beetles. Yeah, maybe when it goes night time again, I might bring the forces home and, or at least one of the forces home and kill some rove beetles. It is best to avoid it if you can, though. Because there's no advantage apart from space for the leaf cutters to kill other creatures. They don't get food from it. You get a little combat score at the end. You might add points if you care about points. But generally speaking, leaf cutters want to avoid conflict. But they're certainly prepared for conflict if they're forced into it. Okay. Need to move these ladies a bit further on. Yeah, I did say we were coming up here, didn't I? Yeah, so let's go and do that. Yeah, we're fine here, I think. There's still enough there. Yep. Okay, right.
The ants will fight to the death.
What have we come across? Is it a... Yeah, it's a jumping spider. Right, let's have a think about mages then. So I think that's just a lava there. But I'm going to have a little major chamber here, I think. Yeah.
These rove beetle larvae are distant relatives of the European devil's coach horse. Despite a few million years of separation, they share the same carnivorous appetite, razor-sharp pincers, and most importantly, a fearsome final form.
I'm sure some of you guys that know that the guy who does our narration is Mauler, who these days is a YouTuber. Famously made lots of videos, very scathing of the new Star Wars films,
their first major ant,
which I don't necessarily agree with, but he did quite well off them, I believe.
Few stand against it in combat and escape unscathed. This champion warrior will make a fine addition to the colony.
Yay, mages. Yeah, we want the mages up here where, closer to the enemy nest. Another one. Yeah, our economy's really starting to rocket now. We're really catching up with the enemy. Lovely stuff. Yeah, look at that. I love it when you see the leafcutter nest. Just look at it. It's beautiful. When you see them all the busy little minims carrying leaves around the nest, it's beautiful. Really is part of the appeal of this game, isn't it? Just how much it feels like an actual ant colony. It's wonderful stuff. Yeah, this is definitely an experiment. Yeah, it looks like that. I generally have a better time streaming on Twitch. Things don't get so low in frame rate. But maybe I'll tweak things next time if I do another. If I do another YouTube stream, yeah, maybe YouTube just needs different bitrate settings and such like. I might say, just give me a sec, guys. I might have a look at dropping the bitrate. Right, give me a mo. Video bitrate. Yeah, let's drop it. Okay, I've just dropped it a few hundred kilobits a second. So maybe that'll make things a bit more stable. Music good, yes, Nico. Music good indeed. Liam, who is also one of the developers, does all the music and sound himself.
Leafcutters aren't the only ants nearby. Whilst the two atta colonies joust for territory, Odontomachus bowery,
if we come into contact with some trapjaw ants, we should be fine.
They can be found hunting alone or in small packs for vulnerable invertebrates to take back to their nest. They use snapping jaws to bludgeon their targets, exerting 300 times their body weight in a single blow.
Let's go over here. We are imminently about to overtake the enemy colony, which is excellent. I'm not feeling like so much of a fool. I feel a lot better about myself this time round. Right, we're going to upgrade some of our media. And maybe one or two of the good miners as well, why not? Okay, so we got these girls are up here now. Collecting leaves from up here, that's fantastic. Yeah, in fact, I'm sure most people who are interested in this game would know that in an ant colony, certainly from a worker perspective, all the ants are female. In fact, for stinging ants, like fire ants and whatever other army ants, the stinger is a modified ovipositor, which is the egg-laying apparatus in insects and various other animals. Fascinating creatures. Why don't you have Uber rove beetles? We do. We've got Uber Devil's Coach Horse, and the Devil's Coach Horse is a kind of rove beetle. There you go. Upgrade. Come on. Come on. Upgrade.
Night falls, and under the cloak of darkness, velvet worms, bush crickets, and harvestmen emerge from their hiding places. Any ant straying from the relative safety of the trail will likely meet with an unfortunate end.
The narrator mentions velvet worms there. They were made. They weren't quite ready, so they had to be cut from the release. Sadly, they didn't make it into the cut. But on one of the streams, John showed off the velvet worms, and they may well make it into the game at some point, in some form, because it was a really cool system. The reason that they weren't quite ready is that they're completely unique, because they're long creatures, so that they work in a train system. They're completely different than any other creatures in the game, and it's really cool stuff that Matt coded. Matt's kind of our deep thinker for those kind of things. He likes interesting challenges like that. It's him who came up with the whole climbing system for plants that the leafcutters use, and there's going to be a modified form of that, which is used for the bridge crossing and also climbing creatures. That's something new that will come out with the Fire Ant update, but it won't be unique to Fire Ants. Every creature that's kind of as big and larger than the large tiger beetle will be climbable. So a certain number of ants will be able to climb over them and attack weak spots, so you'll get some extra damage by having a certain number of ants on the larger creatures. Be really cool, and it'll add a real level of realism to the game. Because ants do crawl all over stuff. I know most of our game is in a kind of flat plane. But yeah, just to add a bit more 3D feel to it. If else, we get about 90 seconds a minute before they send out reinforcements. And they send out reinforcements in a big way. So we've got to be really on the ball there and kind of back away.
Legs keep its
or we'll just get taken out by their mages.
The leaf litter. And when threatened, it can release strong smelling
we're dealing
odors
with
to deter other predators.
A harvestman as well.
A stern
somewhere.
response will be needed to drive this striding nuisance away.
Well, this mage is going to kind of tank the enemy. She's likely to die, but yeah, if we can kind of...
Overwhelmed by the defensive leafcutter forces, the harvestman decides to make a swift exit.
Yeah, the harvestman's gone off. There it is. Just ignore it. Shall I come back to chat for a second? Just pause it. Come back. Okay. Clash between the colonies is imminent. Houseman Nest entrance, yep. Yes, I am winning. I'm doing much better this time than I was last time. Yeah, it looks like I'll probably be okay this time, unless I literally just decide to leave the computer. Can we get an F in chat for the Velvet Worms? They will be back in some form. I'm no doubt. It was too cool a system to just abandon completely. Yeah, you guys, when John does his next stream, I'm not sure when that will be. Probably on Twitch, though, not YouTube. Ask him to show you the Velvet Worm again. He can do that. I haven't got the build on this computer to show you. But, yeah, John can do that for you. Don't driver ants have high health but low attack speed? I don't know. Maybe if they were in the game, that's how we'd have them. But that's certainly how the mages work, the Leafcutter mages. Why is there new Uber Mantis in free play? You already have... There is an Uber Mantis in free play. There is. You just may not have encountered it yet. There is definitely an Uber Mantis in free play. Someone big brain enough to mod their colony can literally do counterpart colony versus counterpart colony. And you can play as the counterpart colony now in free play. Just have to beat the other foot extra level, and then you'll unlock the counterpart colony as a colony type you can choose. Right, what about carpenter ants? Carpenter ants at one point, like way back in the day, we had we had kind of carpenter ants on our radar. In fact, we did do a video in our earliest Kickstarter video way back in 2015, I think it was, which showed carpenter ants as a kind of suicide unit. They'd be similar to I guess banelings in StarCraft, but we don't really need them. We've evolved beyond having things too RTS-y like that now, I think. Well, not to say that we're not an RTS, but yeah, I don't think they're in our plans at the moment. Let's put it that way. I can never resist eating ice when it's in my drink. Bad habit. Not good for your teeth. Why is he not attacking blue? Well, there's no need to attack blue yet. I don't have to beat them. I've just got to... I don't have to kill them. I've just got to outcompete them in leaves. And right now I really don't need to be too... although I have encountered them here, so we are going to have to fight them off now. It's inevitable eventually that you will come in contact with them. So yeah, I think after we kill enough of them, there you go. So we get a few, like a couple of minutes of harvesting time now, while they retreat, and then they send reinforcements, and we don't really want to be there when the reinforcements come, because they get a lot of reinforcements. So we just collect what we can for a minute, and then we retreat.
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected.
What's in the nest? Oh, a couple of... yeah, that's fine. They'll be dealt with in short order, no trouble. Let's get a couple more majors, because we can. And upgrade one of them. And another. Could probably do with upgrading the refuse now, because it's starting to build up now that our colony is getting bigger. So just keep on top of that and it'll tick down faster that way. I do love the music in this game. Liam's done a fantastic job. The music in 3.2 Frontline is fantastic. It's really over the top dramatic. In fact, someone has said to us it's a bit too dramatic for ants, but I disagree. Ants live really dramatic lives. Oh crap! Yeah, that's what happens when I don't look at my my preview camera. Pro stream right here, guys. Yeah, this is why I don't get paid for this. I get paid for being Slug Disco's community
intruders in
manager.
the
I'm
nest.
just doing this for fun. Right, okay. We want to retreat now, I think. Because they're getting their
The
counter-attack
Queen is in imminent
so
danger.
we're going to come and... A bunch of leaves over here we haven't collected. So we're going to send all of our stuff over there. Just keep out their way. Look at the mages there. There's so many of them. Just want to keep out their way. There's something in your nest. What have we got? What's in the nest? Oh, it's trapjaw ants, isn't it? Yeah, let's
The Queen is in
get them
imminent
home.
danger.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I've got the music down really low, guys, so so it doesn't get picked up by the microphone. But yeah, it's fine. We'll just deal with these, no worries. The Queen's health will come back after a while. Should we make a kind of royal guard for the Queen? Yeah, let's do that. Let's make a royal guard of media ants that will just stay there and protect her. Is that a bit too close now? We can go on there. There you go. The Queen has her own royal guard now. There's a bunch of media that will just stay around there.
As the sun rises over the treetops above...
Okay, right. Back to chat for a minute. And this time I'm not going to go back to my other screen, so I don't forget to change it back. I'll just talk like this. Right, okay, back. Yeah, a lot of people complaining that I had the chat screen up too much. Yeah, and telling me that my Queen was dying. It's fine. We dealt with that. The demo get free play with Leakotrans. No, Eric, we don't. It's a demo. We don't want to give too much of the game away in the demo. We are making a product to sell after all. If I had a dollar every time someone mentions hell ants, sure. I accidentally made my ants drunk. Help. Well, alcoholism has increased during lockdown, hasn't it? Mike, you is win. Yes, I am winning. It looks like I'll be fine, actually. I'm quite far ahead of the AI now. Will there be an Xbox port? We are looking into console port options, but probably not until the game is out of early access. But it would be silly if we didn't at least look into that market. Yes. Kill the blue ants. I'm actually just playing on normal. I'd like to play this just with the normal victory condition, just to collect the most leaves, because that's what I failed at last time. I could go in and nuke them. But at the moment, I'd just like to stick with the main objective. Not add termites. No, we are going to add termites. We're going to add Formosan subterranean termites in some form. They will be in the game in some form. We haven't announced how. Are honey ants on the list of planned? Not that I'm aware of. It was one of when we first made the game, when we first conceived the game, way back in 2014. Matt, our artist, made a bunch of models for lots of different ant species, and honeypots was one of the ones that he did make models for, I believe. Yes, he did. But since then, the whole scope of the game has changed. The way that the game used to be, it was going to be a tug of war style game, literally like Tug of War, which is the extra level that's in beta at the moment. That was going to be the whole game, and it was going to be for tablets. So we churned out ant models, without putting too much thought into how each one would work. And that was the wrong way of doing it. We had quantity but not quality. So when it came down to changing the focus of the game to PC, and we saw where the potential of the game, it could really be something more than just a rubbish little mobile game. We saw it could be something much bigger than that, and so we reduced the scope of the species, but gave each one a lot of TLC. Lots of care for each species. That's why there's fewer species, but each one is fully fleshed out and has their own levels. And the whole narrator approach to things has really expanded. And yeah, the game is completely different than we originally envisaged it, but way for the better. Right, back to the game. We'll start once we finish the level. We'll do a proper Q&A for a while. But for now, we should finish this level.
The diurnal jungle invertebrates emerge once again to replace their nighttime counterparts. The ants will remain steadfast in their efforts. All must be risked for the harvest.
Yep, refuse is looking good. We're coming up here to harvest from there. And we are harvesting the last from here. I think we can probably move over in this direction once we're done with up here. There is a jumping spider here, but that shouldn't be a problem for our mages. Right, let's upgrade those mages up, actually. Maybe get those last two of them. Okay, so on Twitch we average running between 5 to 10 viewers. We're averaging about 30 to 40, which is pretty good. Yeah, has the stream been a bit more stable, guys, since I dropped the bitrate? Have you noticed lesser frame drop? Which difficulty is this? This is medium difficulty Mope or Mope 123. Okay, we're more or less out of leaves there for the yellow group, so let's move those guys up to here. Do we want to go into conflict with the enemy again? We are way ahead of them now. I think we just carry on mopping up what we've got here. And we will go and fight them in a short while to get the last couple of thousand food. Okay, upgrade you and you. The jumping spider's not as suicidal as he used to be. He used to be very suicidal, but now he backs off a bit now. We changed the AI. But he's still quite suicidal. Yeah, the jumping spider does a little check, kind of. It'll attack when it's advantageous to. But I don't know if it does much forward planning. It doesn't plan on more ants coming afterwards. Right. Okay, we're running low here, so yeah, I think we need to go up here now. I think we start attacking this last area up here. We are nearly 1,000 ahead of them now. Yeah, it's pretty smooth now. Thanks, Java. Thank you for this epic game. Yeah, you're very welcome. The guys worked very hard on it. Yeah, we'll soon be able to get some level 3 mages, which is
the battle has begun.
What are we fighting? Just some trapjaws, no problem there. Level 3 mages, that's the way to go.
A fight has broken out over the harvesting rights to a sapling.
Okay. Right, so yeah, we're coming into contact with the enemy colony again, as is inevitable. So yeah, eventually we'll have to drive them back. Yeah, it's here that we're coming into conflict with them now. Yeah, that figures. What kind of Uber bugs are It says chase the hedgehog. Ubers, there are hermit crabs, wolf spiders, jumping spiders, praying mantis adults, medium whip spiders. Is this the counter-attack now? No, this is just their regular foraging trail. There's also Uber Devil's Coach Horse adults. I've got them all. I think that might be all of them. There ain't no Uber Road Beetle though. Technically there is. The Uber Devil's Coach Horse adult is a kind of road beetle.
Opposing leafcutters have been cleared from an area to the northeast. Harvesting operations can now continue.
Let's get everyone together now. There's so little food on the map that's actually worth going for that. Yeah, I think we just get our entire force all in one place and just take it for this last. Yeah, they're catching up a little bit now because they've got the easiest access to this last good patch of harvesting. So if we just keep everyone together, nice big force, and really muscle our way in there. Yeah, old jumping spiders. Yeah, they have very little self-preservation instinct. Yeah, they just jumped in. Whee! Bianca says, I've watched your vids on the AI for skirmish battles in the works as well. Well done with the fire ant bridges. Thanks for that. Yeah, that's both Matt and Liam have really been puzzling with how to get those bridges working, and they get in there now. They break so many of our own game rules is the problem, that we've had to add so many extra subsystems to get them to work properly. But it does look great, and they feel fantastic. It's really going to add a unique feel to the fire ants. Right, we're not far off now. We're just about 500 food off winning. So yeah, I didn't embarrass myself too much this time round. I've managed to get most of the embarrassment in the previous video. It was just when I had the camera just looking at my face instead of the game I was playing for a good 2 or 3 minutes. That's the only embarrassment that I've really felt this time round. Oh, lucky sevens there for a second it was. Yep, let's just upgrade what we can now. All our foragers. We've got plenty of food. I'm pretty sure we've got this just about in the bag now.
The hillside at a colony is falling behind.
Congrats in advance on winning. Thanks, Hoff.
They have no choice but to strike
Hoff
back
was
at
there
their opponent.
taunting me when I failed the last time. Well, not taunting me. He's far too polite for that, but he called it. There we go.
The ants have subdued their rivals and achieved dominion over the clearing. As the competition withers, they will extend their territory in all directions, firmly establishing their agricultural empire. One day, this colony will number in the millions.
Might actually go for extra territory. Nah, let's go for Royal Jelly. Can always play a bunch of more levels. Yay, done. Yeah, millions of ants. Yeah, that's how we have our millions of ants. We just have to say that in the future, the colony will number in the millions. But sadly, most people only have a PC at home and not a full rack of computer servers that can do billions and billions and billions of calculations needed for millions of ants.
How is the colony progressing?
The Queen is exhibiting interesting new behaviors. I believe the colony is beginning to adapt.
Good, right. You see, I haven't bothered really building much in this new formicarium yet. So let's just have the ants collect some of our winnings. And let's build a couple of chambers. Let's build a largish worker chamber. Okay, right. So yeah, I'm just going to do a little bit of housekeeping here. But now's your time, guys. If you've got any specific questions that you'd like me to answer, we'll just do 10 minutes. I'm just going to leave my my ants collecting food once I've got things set up here. I'm just going to get them to collect the food so that next time we can just jump straight in, whenever that is. I have enjoyed being on YouTube. There's a bigger audience obviously on YouTube. I've had 30 to 40 people watching rather than 5 to 10, which is nice. Yeah, we're getting a lot more activity. That's great, and it's nice to give you guys a chance to actually just interact directly with us instead of just having to watch a VOD from a Twitch video. Yeah, it's been really cool. Okay, right. Yeah, I'm just going to leave the ants doing things, and I'll right. If I just do this, and now I can go back to just my lovely face, and I will open up Liam's... Where are you, Liam? Liam's SoundCloud, and play some of his music in the background just while we chat. Okay. Cool. Right. Okay, just gonna bring you guys over to my main monitor now. Okay, right, let's have a look at the questions. Okay. Excited for Mike to do Formicarian Challenge 3. Yeah, we'll be doing that, the video after next. I might stick with YouTube for a while, when I'm doing these doing these streams. It probably makes sense for John to stick with Twitch, where he's got like a smaller, more focused audience, and where he can definitely read everything that's asked. Cool. Play more an attack on their queen. There's no need. Yeah, no, most people don't have a NASA supercomputer at home, so we can't do millions. Are you planning new maps, says Javier? Yes, of course we are. In all forms, yeah. There's the Fire Ant levels will get 2 new maps and a new Formicarian Challenge. There's coming out soon, there will be extra levels, Tug of War and Adventure. John has got kind of a time period that he'd like to get that done for. But I'm not ready to talk about that publicly. But not too much longer. He's got a bunch of stuff he needs to get done, like the saving of the AI colonies and that kind of a thing. Imagine the targeting code to have function with 1 million ants. Oh god, yes. Yeah, most PCs cannot handle that. Imagine there are real types of ants that haven't been discovered yet. All the new ant species are discovered all the time. Stop motion on the go, all the time. A lot of the myomycologists and entomologists that we follow on Twitter regularly post about new species being discovered. Yeah, it's really cool. If you could add any ant, what ant would that be? Oh gosh, that's a difficult question. If I say anything, I might give spoilers away. So I'm gonna not say that question. I'm just going to say that my favourite kinds of ants are probably trapjaws, and they're already in the game in some form. Still can't beat Formicarian Challenge 3. It can be tricky. It's much easier obviously on easy mode because the enemy queen doesn't have abilities there. But there's a few things. I'm sure if you go on our forums, there's plenty of advice people can give. But you can't spend too much time in your just hanging around in your nest or hanging around their nest entrance because both are dangerous because of the scientist. So yeah, you've got to get a good balance there, and you've got. And if you're playing on one of the harder difficulties, you've got to get their queen ability to trigger, and then you've got 5 minutes to kill the queen before the ability recharges and she can use it again. So that gives you a timer to work with. Yeah, that's what the cooldown is. Will there be mod support or DLC? Undecided on both. I think we'd like to add mod support to some extent, but that probably involves doing things like making a proper level editor. We just use the Unreal Engine editor to make our levels. We've got a bunch of systems which work well for us, lots of little tools that we've written, but it's not really fit for public consumption. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of clever people out there that could that could decipher it, but if we were going to do a level editor, we'd want to do something a lot more accessible and easy. know, so it's not just people who really like to get stuck into Unreal Engine that can make things. We'd like it to be a bit more accessible, I think, if we do that. DLC, we haven't decided. We've got to decide where to go post-release, but I don't think DLC is probably the first thing we'd do. I think it's another system like multiplayer or a map editor, but it might be neither of those. It's not up to me either. We'll have a company meeting post-release and decide where we're going. Probably after we've had a good long holiday, though. Will there be a co-op mode? Undecided, but probably not. I'd have thought if we do multiplayer, there'd be a versus mode. But if we did multiplayer, we might be able to do teams. I don't know. Some questions. How are you? I'm very well. Thank you very much. I think all of us have had a bit of a tricky time in lockdown. But I felt very optimistic the past few weeks. Thank you for asking. Will there be multiplayer co-op? I've just answered that. Where can you find the soundtrack on SoundCloud? And will the soundtrack be available on iTunes? I don't know about iTunes, maybe, but it'd certainly be available on Steam. But for the time being, I'm just going to put in chat now the link to Liam's SoundCloud. Just coming up in a second. Give me a mo. Yep, there it is. And yeah, there's not all the tracks, but some of them are on there. Like this one at the moment is the appropriately the Harvest music, which I've just been playing, obviously. Okay. Tried to download it, but it didn't show me nothing. What are you talking about there? Can you make the game free? No. Sadly, we have ourselves and our families to support. We can't make it a free game. There's plenty of free stuff on app stores, I'm sure. There's even some ant games on the app stores, I know. My uncle is asking me when this game will be ready. Difficult to say. We don't really do estimates, but we've got 2 more Formicarium tiers to add. The Fire Ant tier, which is tier 4, and then the unannounced tier, which is tier 5. And at that point, the game will be released. It won't be that we stop adding to it at that point. Far from it. We'll probably add lots of things post-release, but at that point, the game will leave early access, and we'll call it Game 1.0. And all the people that don't like early access games can buy the game without complaining at that point. Next map plan. Do you mean next extra level? It's Tug of War, and then the one after that is called Adventure. Tug of War is an auto battler mode, and Adventure is, it's kind of difficult to describe, but maybe wait for that to come out, or look at some of the videos that John's posted of him streaming development of that. Do you guys plan on doing a Steam workshop with custom levels or maybe custom ant types? Again, undecided. Maybe long term it's something we'd like to do, because games that do have mod support and Steam workshop support tend to last a lot longer and sell for a lot longer. So that might be a thing we do long term, but certainly not before early access ends. The game get any update? The demo get any updates? Yes or no? I don't think there is any. Maybe, but I don't think it's going to get any major updates. We might do the odd extra level for it, but it's certainly not going to get free play or anything. We've been going for 69 minutes. Nice. Thanks for pointing that out, Nautilus. When will Fire Ants come out? We haven't got a date for it yet. As soon as we've got a date, we will let people know. But we don't do estimates by policy. How can I beat Formicarium Challenge 3? There's loads of guides on Steam, and if you just look on YouTube for how to beat Formicarium Challenge 3, there's plenty of videos that will give you loads of tips. Have you ever played Tabs? I have played Tabs, and it is good fun. Tabs deals with much larger forces than we can do in our game, because it's not colony versus colony with all the kind of ant brains working together, is it? As opposed to you just point things at things and they do stuff, so they can have bigger amounts of units. Yeah, Tabs is fun. I think it's more fun for me to watch people stream or play it than to actually play it. I'm not used to talking for this long. I go hours and hours in my room without saying a single word when I'm working. This is my office and my working environment. I'm not used to just sitting here talking for so long. I've got a bit of a sore throat. How did you come up with this game? The inspiration for this game is definitely an old game which I'm sure some of you know called Dungeon Keeper. You can see, if anyone's familiar with that game, you can definitely see how the underground section of the game plays quite a lot like Dungeon Keeper does. And in fact, what's pushed the guys to first kind of have, take this idea that they've had and actually properly implement it into a game was how utterly disappointing the Dungeon Keeper mobile game was. As in, it's barely a game, it's just microtransaction galore. And otherwise, the game, it was just so disappointing that they kind of pretty much pushed the guys on the path to right that wrong and make a game which that they felt that they wanted to actually play. Right, where are we up to? Can you try and add challenge mode bugs to free play? I'm pretty sure that's on the cards, Chase. Yeah, we can do that. I'm pretty sure that'll be an option eventually. Is there a forecast for further expansions? If you mean like timing-wise, no, we don't do that because we've disappointed people in the past by giving estimates and then having to break them. Because, as you know, from even the AAA developers have trouble with their timings. They can only give rough estimates and they miss them sometimes anyway. And us as just a studio of 3 people and me, we'd be kind of shooting in the dark until we know a date. We don't discuss them. If you could add any animal to the game, what would it be? An African elephant. How many ant species planned? At least 2 more, and there will be peripheral species as well. When I say peripheral, I mean ones that you don't play as but appear. For instance, like the trapjaws or the army ants. If this game ever stops updating, I'll be sad. Well, eventually we'll die, and it'll stop updating then. But we don't plan on abandoning the game when it's out or anything. No, far from it. We'll carry on updating it for a long, long time. Eventually we'll probably want to move on to another project, but we'll still support Empires of the Undergrowth anyway. There is free Simant online. It's not. Funnily enough, Simant was not a direct inspiration for us. In fact, we only played it kind of when we were doing our market research into this game. But we were aware of it, but we'd never played it. But yeah, it is a good game. Can you add dragon ants? I think they're cool. I'll have to look them up. Any plans for a new free play map? Exclusive? Yes. Yeah, bit more hydration for me. Trapdoors, spiders. Maybe. We've got the funnel webs, which are similar-ish. When they hide in a structure and an ambush. This will probably be one of the most legendary games in history once it's out of early access. That's very kind of you to say, stop motion. I think it's a bit of a niche, this game. That for the people who enjoy it, it really hits the spot. But I know insects and bugs just creep a lot of people out and put them off playing it. I have 92 hours in your game. Thanks, Tiffany. Really love the poster on your wall. We'll put that up in my gaming room for sure. Cheers, Bianca. Yeah, that's the poster which was a Kickstarter reward. Our backers had a choice of either that poster or, let's see if I can show you actually on my other wall, that poster or that poster, which is an ant fact poster. So on there's a bunch of different ant species and facts about them. I'll maybe at some point I'll get a bit closer to that, but I can't take my webcam much further than that. Yeah, just adjust that slightly. There we are. What about rain? I think we wanted to get rain in the rainforest. Funnily enough, in the rainforest level, we just didn't get around to it. But I think weather events and such like is probably a good way to go in the future. It would make sense. I like the idea of there being like weather events in free play, like there's rain or there's a drought or something. Don't know if John agrees with me or not, but okay. By the way, turn down game volume and turn up the mic. I can turn up the microphone slightly. I'll choose a different track to play in the background now. How about A Day on the Beach. How about that one? Uh-oh, someone disliked. People are very welcome to dislike. I have a face that people sometimes dislike. Will fire ants be the only kind of ants introduced in the updates, or another kind for the counterpart colony? Like I say, there will be peripheral ant species, ones you don't play as, but appear. What's your favourite ant species? My favourite is trapjaw ants, because they have the fastest moving predatory appendage in the animal kingdom. Can you add weaver ants? Probably not. They don't really fit into our nest construction system. I would like to see an infinite world. Oh, wouldn't we all? It's not Minecraft though. No, we've got a limited playing space that we can play with, it being a real-time strategy. Much larger worlds cause problems with the pathfinding system and such like. So we do have a limited play space, a lot like StarCraft does. Will there be a roadmap? We've done roadmaps before. Again, the problem with roadmaps is that they kind of necessitate an estimate of time, which we're not very good at. So we've had roadmaps before and then had to abandon them, because that's just what game development's like, particularly when it's your first game. I want that Anfax poster. I will get a closer look at the Anfax poster at some point for you guys. Obviously, I can't post the actual thing because it was a Kickstarter reward. If you could add a challenge mode for fire ants, what would it be and why? There will be a challenge mode for fire ants, and it has been decided, but I'm not going to spoil that just yet. Both are cool, both that poster. We'll download SmartWork from Google and see if I can have it printed and laminated. You are very welcome to. Venus flytraps are for... Yep, Venus flytraps will be a life form you will encounter in the fire ant levels. When are the fire ants going to get to Empires of the Undergrowth? We don't do estimates, but as soon as we have a firm date, we will tell everyone. Do you play StarCraft? I have played StarCraft. I don't play it regularly. John and Liam were both big StarCraft players, and so was Matt. So the three developers were, particularly Liam. Liam was very good at StarCraft. I enjoyed StarCraft single player more, but I didn't really have the APM for online play very much. I'm more of a first person shooter kind of guy, to be honest, particularly in a the FPS is my genre. It's not to say I don't enjoy real-time strategies, of course I do. But, yeah, I'm a bit more selective with my real-time strategies. I'm playing through the Command & Conquer Remastered at the moment, which has been a brilliant nostalgia trip. Red Alert was my first proper real-time strategy. Do next stream for Spider level. I think my next stream, Javier, is going to be 3-2 Frontline. I will at some point do the Spider level on stream because I haven't actually finished it myself yet. Even though I voiced the spider. No, I haven't finished it. It's super difficult. It's one of those throw your keyboard through the window kind of levels. I've got so many ants the game is lagging like crazy. Yeah, once you go kind of above 200, yeah, it starts to happen. What's your favourite food, Mike? Steak. Far and away steak. I'd eat steak all the time if it wasn't terrible for me. Well, it's not that bad, I guess, but I have to limit my steak intake. I'm off. Thanks for the fun game. Keep your good work. Love to you and the team. Thank you, Bianca. Enjoy World of Warships. Do you speak another language? No. I learned... I took basic French and German in school, but I was never very good at either of them. Matt, who's on our team, speaks fluent German. And Liam is married to someone who speaks fluent Chinese, and John is married to someone who speaks fluent Spanish, which is why those three languages were the first in our localization. It just made sense for us for Chinese, German, and Spanish to be the first three languages. Mike has the kingly palate. Steak, yes. I love steak, but I also love ramen noodles as well. You know, so on both ends of the scale. Grounded certainly probably creeps a lot of people out. I know there is an arachnophobia mode, but still, it proves people like creepy crawly games. I'm sure it will get its traction. The arachnophobia mode is kind of a joke, really. We know it's not sufficient. It just puts funny hats on the spiders and the other arachnids. We probably want to do a stronger, proper mode of that in the meantime, but it's just a bit of fun at the moment. In fact, an arachnophobe said, make them wear funny hats and they won't be so threatening. So we did. We thought that was hilarious. But yeah, it doesn't work for a lot of people. We know it's the legs mainly and the way they move that creeps people out. So yeah, we probably want to put a proper arachnophobia mode that hides them better. Whoever voiced the narrator did nice voice acting. Yes, he did. If you search for Mauler on YouTube, it's that guy. Are super mages added? Do you mean for fire ants? No, we're not really doing the super mages thing. We're just having workers and soldiers for fire ants, because there's a lot of debate amongst people who study ants about whether there is true polymorphism in fire ants. So we're just having workers and soldiers, but there'll be different sizes, obviously. I hate spiders. I don't have arachnophobia mode on. How is do you mean who is the narrator? It's Mauler on YouTube. Right, give me a sec, guys. Yeah, the narrator is Mauler, whose name is Callum Edmonds. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. How many insects do you have in the game? Ooh. Insects? That's kind of a trick question, because not all of the creepy crawlies are insects, are they? Like the spiders and the harvestmen are not insects. And the wood lice are not insects. The narrator sounds like a documentary, like his BBC. Yes, that was the idea. In fact, the original idea was to have a David Attenborough-style voice. You know, here we see Formica erepta, also known as the gene thief ant, an artificial species. You know, we could have gone that way, but to be honest, it didn't really meld with the kind of atmosphere we had for the game. So we wanted, I think Liam watched the documentary, which was voiced by Andy Serkis, who of course you'll know as Gollum from Lord of the Rings, and Supreme Leader Snoke in Star Wars. Lots of he does lots of voice roles and motion capture roles. But Liam was watching a nature documentary narrated by him, and he had the much more kind of calm, serious approach to voiceover work, and Liam kind of fell in love with that idea. So when we were auditioning our narrator, Liam decided someone with that kind of approach to it. Will AI make it harder for free play? I'm sure it will. Yes, you'll be competing for resources, so yes, of course it will be more difficult. Coach also the whip spiders. My favourite ant, and ants are insects, is the trapjaw. But I think my favourite insect in the game is probably... Oh, gosh. My favourite insect in the game. Maybe the mole cricket. I like the mole cricket because they have a unique thing. You know, they burrow and they come in. They're kind of big and scary. But they're quite fair. If you know how to deal with them, they're quite manageable. Yeah, I like the mole crickets. I did a little kind of like preview video before we released about the mole cricket, so that was fun. Mike, who is the narrator, Callum Edmonds, otherwise known as Mauler on YouTube. Hi, some random. Yeah, you made it to the stream, but we're not far off finishing now. Probably just another couple of minutes while I finish answering up these questions. Speaking of BBC documentary, look at Wood Ant documentary. It's amazing. Yeah, pretty much the BBC. The BBC do such good nature documentaries that I really don't want to watch nature documentaries by anyone else. To be honest, I'd rather watch a BBC one. Aidenas says, I have a question, Mike. Is it okay if I ask? Yes. Was that the question? But yeah, go for it, dude. If I can answer it, I will. I remember the Kickstarter trailer with that voice. Yeah, we did hire a guy who did a very good Attenborough-style voice. The Queen has landed. Wearied by her perilous flight, she sheds her wings, burrows into the soft sand, and begins to lay. The first children of the nomadic Formica erector. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, that was the original idea, but it was a bit too cheesy in the end. We could have done it that way, but yeah, a bit cheesy. Not really the atmosphere we wanted to go with. Let's choose another piece of music just while we finish up. Do you have the demo track? Yeah, I love this music. It's the first looping piece of music which Liam made for the demo that we made. It doesn't have the reactive music that the rest of the game does, but it's a great piece of music, and it really set the atmosphere for the demo. Will Fire Ants have 2 missions like the other 3 ants? Yes, they will. There'll be a 4-1 and a 4-2, which are both Fire Ant missions. More crickets were like hunters for me. Had to learn quickly how to dispatch them while panicking like crazy. Yeah, the trick is just to look out for the little clouds of dust that appear before they drop in. If you can see them, then you've got a good heads up on when they're going to appear. I was wondering, what's next for Ear to You? What you're planning on releasing next? Are the Fire Ants what you're planning on doing next? Or is there something else, like another extra level or something? Right, if you mean like directly next... The next kind of semi-large update is going to be more free play stuff. There's going to be AI colonies for free play and probably 2 extra levels at the same time. Those will be Tug of War and Adventure, they're called. And that's kind of more short term. The Fire Ants will be the next really big update. The next major update, we call it. But yeah, the next kind of solid update will be more free play stuff and a couple of extra levels, yeah. When you put in a more serious arachnophobe mode, will you still keep an option for silly hats? Yes, I think as much as anything, I wouldn't have liked Matt to have modelled all those silly hats for them to just go to waste. So yes, we'll probably have a sliding scale of arachnophobe mode. Mike, if you had an ant colony of your own, what would your ant colony be? It would be Lasius niger, which is the most common kind of black ant in a lot of the world, a lot of the kind of the northern hemisphere. And they're all over the place. And I have, in fact, in one of my drawers somewhere, not easily at hand, I've got a load of plastic test tubes. I intended to catch a queen during this summer. And a month or so ago, I was going to the shops. I was just walking out the shops, and literally 10, 15 metres from the front of my house, there was a bunch of queens. And I thought, I haven't got my test tube with me. So I thought, you know what, I'll just nip to the shop, I'll bring my stuff back, I'll put it in, and then I'll go and find a test tube and get one of these queens. And of course, by the time I'd done that, kind of half an hour later, they were all gone. They'd all either flown off or burrowed or been eaten by birds. And I was like, gosh darn it. But, you know, it's only just the end of summer now. I might still have a chance. So at the moment, I am keeping a test tube in my pocket. Let's try and get a Lasius niger queen. Will Fire Ants have a poison stinger? They will. The game should have got more famous than ever. Well, it isn't even out yet, Indominus. Hopefully we'll get another burst of kind of attention when it is released. But it's all good. Yeah, we're doing okay anyway. Enough to support ourselves and our families. Where can I find the soundtrack of the game? It's not quite out yet, but if you look at this, I'm just putting the link again in chat. Some of the tracks are on there. That's Liam's SoundCloud. Liam's the composer and he's one of the developers. Not everything's on there, but quite a lot of it is. But we will release the soundtrack properly when the game's complete. Are we going to add driver ants? I don't know. Do all the devs have ant colonies? No, I don't think any of us do, actually. I know Matt has kept various creepy crawlies before. In fact, when he was living in Liverpool once, he had a Goliath bird-eating spider, which was kind of cool. And I was kind of fascinated by that thing, but he had to give it away in the end. Might you agree that queens are cute? Yes, I think ants are quite cute in general. Will there be another Formicarian challenge? There will be 2 more Formicarian challenges. There will be one after the fire ant levels, and then one after the 5th level, which will be the kind of last boss of the game, as it were. Hey Mike, what's the theme of the extra level adventure going to be about? All I know is it's going to be another leafcutter level. Am I correct? Yeah, it's a leafcutter level, and it's going to be like you have to do certain tasks to expand the level out a bit more, to kind of like do quests basically. It's going to be a fun kind of unique way of as playing as leafcutters. Yeah, but if you look back in some of the streams, you'll see adventure. If you see adventure in the title of them, that means John's streamed a bit of dev of that. So feel free to go and have a look. Mike, if you could have a pet other than ants, what would it be? Dogs. I've got a dog actually called Tesla, who is not in this room right now. He's usually by my side here, but I thought I'd leave him downstairs while I stream. So the people downstairs can let him out if he needs to go and not disturb me. I've shown Tesla a couple of times on stream. I love dogs. Will you guys include a nomadic story mode for after the Formicarian like how it was originally planned? I don't know. If we did that, it would probably be it'd probably have to be a whole DLC. But I don't think we're planning on going that way now. I think the scope has changed from that original idea we had, and that's honestly because we didn't realise just how successful the mad scientist approach to things was going to be, how well received it was going to be. It was kind of a gamble for us. We didn't know if it was going to be too cheesy or if people were just going to be really turned off by the idea. But people love to hate Scientist Number 2. It gets a lot of discussion about how mean that guy is, and people love that, the whole mad scientist thing. So we decided to stick with that, and we're centering our campaign around that. But I don't think we're planning on going back to the nomadic idea. Probably going to be something small for the next ant colony. Right, well, hang on a second. Have I lost my YouTube thing? No, it's over here. Right, there we go. Hey, we've had a fairly consistent 30 to 40 viewers. It's been pretty good. Can you give us a hint of the final story mode? And sadly, that's not within my power. I think I'll probably get told off by Liam if I did that. You'll just have to wait and see. We're bound to tease things going up to the, leading up to it. But right now I don't really have the authority to go spoiling too much stuff. These trapjaw spiders added to the game. They could be, but I don't think they're planned at the moment. But we've got the funnel web spiders that operate in a similar kind of way. Remember you saying something about bullet ants in the game? Yes, bullet ants were one of the Kickstarter rewards. They're not going to get their own levels. But what we're thinking is going to happen is there'll be an end game, kind of bonus. So you'll finish the final Formicarian challenge, challenge 5. Then you'll be able to spend some royal jelly in the tech tree to unlock them, and then you'll be able to use them in your Formicarium, or more likely, as part of your Ereptor colony in free play. There'll be a nice big, strong, tanky, powerful unit to use in free play. I kind of imagine them a bit like the mammoth tanks from Red Alert, that kind of end-game unit. Mike, have you seen green-headed ants before? I'm pretty sure I have, yeah. Lots of ants have beautiful colouring. But if Scientist 2 wasn't 30th Formicarian would be the end, right? Well, Scientist Number 1, who is Scientist Number 2's boss, wanted him to clear out the specimens and bleach the equipment, because the experiment was at an end then. The experiment, by the way, is all about gene splicing. The royal jelly, which the scientists use, is a way for the Formica erepta, which is an artificial species which has been made through genetic engineering. It's the whole idea is that it can absorb the traits of its foes through the royal jelly. So what they're doing is testing how well that works. Can a colony, which is made of lots of different genetic components from other colonies, survive? And of course, they're doing very well. But scientist number 2 is more of a sadist than a scientist. But I think you all know that, don't you? Because you've played the game. Scientist number 1 is all about business. And if you're wondering why she hasn't spotted how bad he's been, it's because she's got a whole bunch of other scientists to look after as well. But she is starting to notice. What's the final challenge from the mad scientist supposed to be like? Terrifying. How was your day today? Really good. I've had a good day. I've had a nice productive day. Who did all the voices? Congrats, because I love all of them. We've got 3 voice actors. I'll just bring up their names. Give me a second. Yeah, Callum Edmonds is the guy who does the narrator. Actually, we've got technically 4 voice actors. Yeah, Callum Edmonds, otherwise known as Mauler on YouTube, does the narrator. And then we've got Mary Jo Wood, who is scientist number 1, and Eric Peterson, who is scientist number 2. And we have Michael Connor as the Hungry Spider. That's me. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to do a voice part, but John added the Hungry Spider, and I made a trailer for it, and I recorded some voice lines just for the trailer, and John liked them so much he had me record all of the lines, and we added it to the game. Quiddy Boy got their own ant colony. Great. What drove you to create a game all about ants? Ants are fascinating. Ants have real-time strategy-like traits in real life. They really do. They have tanks and they have things that create threat and taunt. They create trails. They're just a really... If you could make a game about any kind of insects, it's got to be ants, hasn't it? A real-time strategy game, it's got to be ants. Ants are awesome. Who's final ant? We haven't announced that yet. We'll announce it later. Do you have any idea of when Adventure is going to be released? Because I'm super excited about it. I can't. Again, we don't really do estimates, but in the short term, it's not far off done. You've seen John do a bunch of streaming on it, but yeah, as soon as he can get that out, he will. What happened to the Hungry Spider level? It appears on full moons and around Halloween. If you think about it, you are kind of one of the devs. Well, I'm not a dev, as in I don't do coding for it, but I do a bit of writing for it, and I talk to the guys a lot about balance. You know, it's me who kind of collates all the feedback from the community. That's part of my job, you know, as the community manager, and talk about balance and such like. And yeah, and like I say, I do the occasional bit of writing. I'm very much part of the team that makes this game, but I'm not a dev as such. I'm definitely more community focused, but yeah, I am part of the team. Hungry Spider is fat. Yes, he gets fat. Bit like me, actually. Too much steak. Mike, have you seen Kyrgyzat's ants? Yes, of course I have. I've seen all those videos on ants, yeah. Every time that Kyrgyzats do a video about ants, we immediately get whatever ants they're focusing on requested. In fact, when they did the leaf cutter one, we got a bunch of people asking for leaf cutters, like the fact that leaf cutters had been in the game for several months at that point. Anyone played the game when the overworld wasn't added to the game? Yeah, if you played the demo back in 2016, yeah, you'll have played it without the overworld.
These ants have a very effective way of defending themselves.
Is John Bossman like the female scientist? If any of the 3 of them were my boss, I'd say it was probably Liam. Liam's kind of the organiser of the operation. What's playing at the moment? Oh, it's Liam's Antin Burrow music. This is his kind of electro sort of dubstep remix. When does Fire Ant come? We haven't announced that yet. Sopuli or Sopuli, because we don't do estimates. We're not very good at them. We will tell everyone when we know a date. Are we going to be able to change camera angle in photo mode? If you hold down Shift when you press the photo mode button, which I think is F9 by default, you get a much freer camera. you're not constrained so much. Love yourself. I think I love myself a bit too much. I feed this body way too much steak. What can I do to become like a special beta tester? Like some of those more famous YouTubers, because I played this game on my own channel. I'd love to be a beta tester for you guys. There is an open beta at the moment, an optional beta. If you go on the store page, you'll see how to access it. Yeah, if you've got Windows 64-bit on Steam, then you can join in. Do you have any idea how the fire ant will be like? Will they have some sort of poison? They will do venom damage, because yeah, they sting. They'll bite, and then every so often they'll do a sting. So yeah, they will do venom damage. Is it true that army ants are going to be more powerful? I think army ants have had a little bit of a buff. At least the army ant mediae have had a buff in the current beta. Right, okay, I think, yeah, we're coming up on 2 hours, which is a very long stream for me. I only usually do about an hour. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, boys and girls, and variations thereon for joining. It's been fun. Yeah, a YouTube stream has a different energy to a Twitch one. But I've enjoyed it, yeah, a lot more audience interaction. Yeah, and all you guys have been really friendly, and well, we know this about our community. Very rarely does anything bad come out of our community. It's one of the best things, actually. We're very proud of our community, and seeing all you guys on YouTube coming and joining me, it's been lovely. You're a bloody lovely bunch. Okay, right. So let's end the stream there. I don't know if it will be me or John that streams next. I think I'll try and do another stream next week. I don't know if John will be able to stream later this week, but he's likely to do it on Twitch rather than YouTube. So I'd suggest anyone who can follow us on twitch.tv/slugdisco. And then you'll get alerts when we go live. Generally speaking, John streams kind of Thursdays and Fridays, occasionally Saturdays. I don't know if he's in a position to stream this week, though. We'll see. But yeah, follow us there, and I'll probably do another stream on YouTube next week. Cool. That was fun. That was really good. You guys are awesome. So, where's my streaming software? Okay. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you next time.
Indeed, we now know